if you can use your book to get one new client, that's probably 6 months of book sales.
Why do you say it's not about the book sales?
Because if you're really trying to sell books, you're going to find yourself with a new 40-hour-a-week job, scratching your head, trying to figure out, where can I blog? Where can I tweet? Can I post? Buy my book, buy my book. I call them pity sales. And you see people going, hey, could you do me a favor? Could you buy my book? You feel sorry for that person because you think, oh, they need 72 cents. Like, you're not going to make money selling books. Like, you have to sell 1 million books. So that's what I mean. You know, it's not about the book sales. If you can use your book to get one new client, that's probably 6 months of book sales, the equivalent.
Right. Yeah. And you had mentioned earlier, the average book sales number is like 200. So you can't expect to get rich off that one book.
Yeah. And, you know, the people who do make it big and sell a lot of books, they have a marketing budget. So if you have a marketing budget and you say, okay, I'm going to spend $50,000 to sell books, I understand wanting to get your book in as many hands as possible. I totally understand that. But when you go back to why are you writing a book? It could be that you're a business coach and you want 10 new clients a month. Well, that's 120 a year. And so you don't really need to reach millions and millions of people. And you can if you have a marketing budget. You totally can. But it's very difficult to do organically with no marketing budget. And that means you're going to spend 40 hours a week trying to get people to buy your book, which is really not, it won't make you feel good about yourself at all. People get really upset when they have that philosophy. So whenever I start working with someone, right away, I set their expectations. I don't say to them, you're not going to sell any books, but I say, let's make sure your mindset is set up for success, knowing you're going to use your book to sell you. And if you get on a bunch of podcasts, you can sell books by being introduced as the author of. I've done that where I go to Amazon while I'm listening to podcasts and buy their book. And you can get press, you can get in the newspaper, you can get on TV shows. Yeah. One of my clients is someone with a spinal cord injury. She is in a wheelchair and she wrote a book about how to build an accessible house. And she's done, now I've helped her get speaking. I've helped her get on podcasts and she just got a TV show.
Wow.
Like one of those renovating home and garden type of TV shows. It's happened to a couple of my clients that have gotten TV shows. So I always say to them, don't worry about the book sales because it's all the juicy stuff comes after you get your book out there.
Yeah.
Don't try to sell books. Let the book sell you. Because if you know what your average customer value is, and if you're a coach or a consultant or a realtor or a dentist or a chiropractor, I've worked with all kinds of business people. And let's say your average customer value is $3,000. You know how much time it takes to sell $3,000 worth of books? It's ridiculous. You might never even do that in your lifetime. The average business book only sells 200 copies. So focus instead on using the book to sell you. So like I'm doing now, like get on podcasts and get on radio shows and write some, get on like guest blog posts and stuff. And not saying, I wrote a book. It's so great. Let me tell you more about my book. Nothing to do with that. You're just like Suzanne Doyle-Ingram, author of such and such. I'm here to talk to you today about these 3 ways you can market your business or whatever your thing is.
So that kind of bleeds into the question of, is it important for business professionals or entrepreneurs to write a book?
Yes, I do believe it is. Even if you're not a writer, even if you feel like you can't write, because when you think about it this way, imagine that you have a prospect come to you that wants to learn more about you and you sit down with them and you talk to them for an hour. Exactly that conversation can go in a book because you're touching a little bit on points of credibility. You're telling them a little bit about your experience, your education, maybe a little bit of vulnerability, which I always recommend you do a little bit in your book. And then you're talking about how you can help them do the thing that they want, right? Whether it's helping them with their bookkeeping, their interior design, or their dog walking, or any kind of business can benefit from having a book. So it's not just that you're putting what you do in the book, but also just having the book on Amazon, having the credibility is so important. Because if people are choosing between you and 3 other people, you're all pretty much the same, and you have a book and they don't, they're going to pick the author. People don't realize how easy it is really to write a book and to get it on Amazon. It's really not that hard, and everybody gets attached to it. They think of it as a big deal. Oh, I've wanted to write a book for 10 years. And I'm like, well, just make a decision and do it.